I'll play my ear off your word.
Alrighty. We'll let this start up. Give it a moment. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the season opener of the BNR Truck Series, Season 5. Alongside of me tonight is Will. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, Brian.
Well, Truck Series, Daytona.
Yes, indeed. Truck Series, BNR Truck Series here again at Daytona International Speedway. Some say, World Center of Racing, and rightfully so. So 2.5 mile D-shaped oval banked in the middle as well in the tri-oval. So, you know, this coming up race season, this start of this year's Daytona 500 will mark the 66th running of the Daytona 500, as well as the 20th, without having to look on any Google Notes, 24th, I want to say, year of the Craftsman Truck Series running at Daytona International Speedway. So, might be 25. I think they started in 2000, so that would be 25 years, right?
Yes, I do believe so.
So 25 years of coming to Daytona, the Truck Series has. Uh, the first wreck had that vicious crash with Jeff Bodine in 2000. And famously enough, these trucks ran here at Daytona for, what was it? 6 years before they ever went to Talladega, I believe it was. So, 3 years of the truck's life here at Daytona, they ran without restrictor plates. They tried so many different ways to take power away from the engine as far as feeding it more air. I don't know how that takes power away from it. But anyway, there was all these types of contraptions and stuff, all in an effort not to put plates on the trucks whenever they first went to Daytona. There's a whole lot of story that you could look up and read into that. Like I said, the big famous Jeff Bodine crash kind of, in a way, made more efforts, like I said, at the first race, and then a lot of good famous finishes have been held here at Daytona in the Truck Series over the years. Michael Waltrip having like a photo finish win here in the Truck Series 15 years, I want to say. It was either 10 or 15. I think it was 10, right? To whenever Dell died. So that happened here. John King, a guy that got his only career Truck Series win in the Truck Series, got a win here. And it was almost like a 3-wide finish. A lot of crazy crashes have happened. Matt Crafton did like a barrel roll in the backstretch one time, like landed back on all fours. Not just Matt Crafton, but who was the other guy?
In the Cup Series?
Matt Shafton. No, in the Truck Series. Oh. Anyway, season opener here, BNR Truck Series. So, track's been around, as we know, or if you're new here, 1959. So, a lot of legacy, a lot of history, a lot of heritage.
Anyway, well, I'm going to stop real quick. We're going to go over a little bit of the race information here for a second. We are in Daytona Beach, Florida. It is, you might as well say, about a 2.5 mile track. The current track temperature is 69 degrees, Will, with an altitude of 37 feet. The current weather outside is 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 40%, partly cloudy with a 3 mile per hour wind. It is 80 laps, 200 miles. They get 80% fuel. It's actually 4 sets of tires, 1 quick fix, and they get 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. So, that will conclude qualifying, Will. Now I am going to go over the starting grid here. So P1 will be Joseph Causey. P2 will be Daniel Lyle. P3 will be Scott Scoggins. P4 will be Troy Daggett. P5 will be Dave Berry. P6 will be Michael Day. P7 will be Brandon Moore. P8 will be Ernest King. P9 will be Robert Amaro. P10 will be Randy O'Quinn. P11 will be Chris Cornett. P12 will be David Fashholtz. P13 will be Joe Stipe. P14 will be Jaden. P15 will be Josh Small. P16 will be Chris Berger. P17 will be Pete Woodrum. P18 will be Paul Lawson. P19 will be Chris Campbell. P20 will be Jacob Carter. P21 will be Cameron Smith. P22 will be Dion Johnson. P3 will be Jared Gotzelman. P24 will be JD O'Brien. P25 will be Kevin Roy. P26 will be Peter Stewart. P27 will be Matthew. And P28 will be Mark Berry. Whew, well, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rundown there, Brian. So thanks for the grid rundown. As a handful of notable names here and a lot of hopeful newcomers to the BNR Truck Series. So 80 laps here tonight of asking. Hopefully no overtime. But like you said, we have 3 of those if we need to.
I think it's going to be a great race overall, Will. Absolutely. I do believe it. And I know we can do that too as well. Nice outfield. I love it. But, Will, who is going to be your pick here tonight?
Well, I know it's probably for me to be expected to say this sometimes, but I'm going to have to go with Brandon Moore. You know, he just always seems to be up there everywhere and in about battling for at least a podium finish whenever it's all said and done. So my sleeper, Brandon Moore is, the top pick. My sleeper might have to be someone, I don't know, let's say, possible Christopher Campbell, Josh Small, J.D. O'Brien, even Kevin Roy, even though I shouldn't really call Kevin Roy a sleeper, even though he just has that type of David Pearson mentality. Don't have to truly show what you got, only attack when you truly need to.
Yes, indeed, Will. But as we see here, these drivers are going to have a moment of silence. Yesterday,
yes, indeed, Brian.
This morning I had lost my grandfather. So it's a wonderful honor that these drivers are going to pay a lot of respect. But couldn't ask for a better group, Will, but we're going to have a brief moment of silence here. They're also a veteran, so we love you, Pop, if you're watching. So Alrighty, Will. So now these drivers also are going to get single file. They are going to. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's right. They were supposed to. That's right. No worries. The green here. Go green this time. That's alright.
Yes, indeed, Brian. Awesome moment of silence for,
Oh,
um,
no,
you know,
that's alright. They all got confused, but that's alright.
yes, I think trying to remember the new rules this season, everybody gets to go down. We have extra warm-up laps, and drivers get to run down and get a fresh look at where their pit stall is. So some not orientated to that as to others. So, but alluding back to, yes, Brian, great for all the drivers to do that this evening, to pay their respects, uh, to your grandfather, and my condolences and best wishes, go out to your family, Brian.
Thank you, thank you. Well, a season opener, don't worry, those laps are going to get reset back to 1. So when these drivers get lined back up, we're going to go green. So we got some nice new cameras here, Will. Well, same cameras as last season. So let's have a good show, 80 laps.
I was going to say, I forgot Daggett. He's back this season. He said he was going to try to be full time, if I'm not mistaken. He showed up towards the end, if we can remember, to a few races last Truck Series season, and he won a few, Brian. So he could be a dark horse here. He's going to be he qualified third, so he's already up here in the mix already. Going to be early on here, so just so many to keep an eye on, so many to watch out for. Anything can happen here any moment in time. Daytona's narrower than Talladega, so it's much more tight confounds. You saw during the 3-wide salute, the moment of silence that we did just a moment ago, that yes, you can be 3-wide here, but when you're at racing
green
speed,
flag is out.
like that inside lane did not get the memo on the trying to go green, or something happened, but anywho, some just possibly just elected to start in the rear, perhaps, Brian. So
And that's all right.
Yep. I feel like that could. Oh, a little bit of a twitchy moment from the red truck on the outside. Who? Kyle. Lyle. Yes, Lyle. Mistakenly called the L for a K. So, good pushes coming from the one there. Already getting hooked up here. Got a long progression on the bottom lane. Already forming that top. Having no love at this time. It's only the opening lap, though.
You see there, Lilo and Causey getting that pole from third and fourth, Will.
Like we might have had a little bit of a checkup or some sorts back here. Everybody just trying to log some laps at the moment. We do know the estimated fuel window is anywhere between 22 to 25 laps here. So with the extra pace laps at the beginning, even though it was still under pace car speed, we might see the opening stanza of pit stops be about, what would you say, maybe, Brian, about maybe 21 laps?
Yes, sir.
So, maybe 22.
I'd like to
as
thank
now.
our sponsors too. I forgot to do that. Admin Box and Big Clear Customs coming out on board with us here this evening. I will go ahead. The Bearded Bear, they are an awesome leather company that makes great stuff like belts and other things.
Leather jackets, custom, leather jackets, leather belts, wallets, I assume. Anything leather. You want leather? That is the place to go. As we're seeing now the high side getting formed up, more so, taking a challenge to that inside lane, but so many trucks, but all about trying to keep it straight here, hold the best line, have the pretty wheel.
I see Jacob Carter there riding behind that 5. Now going to jump to the outside behind that 42 of Paul Lawson. Well, next lap they can go 3 wide if they choose to. That was their restriction after 5 laps, and they can go ahead and go ahead and do 3 wide. But I wouldn't. They seem pretty spread out and doing a great job, so I wouldn't want to ruin that. Absolutely not. They seem they got all their stuff locked in and ready to go here. So, but the 5 of Woodrum there, sharp looking truck. But we come back up here in the front. Fast Holtz is now in the lead, and then Joseph Causey.
Yes.
And Lyle, Sanchez, Berger, Scoggins, Cornett, Daggett, Lawson, and Day. So that is your top 10 at the moment.
So 10 truck breakaway currently up here at the front, while you have some that are just backing up, checking up, just wanting to ride at the moment. They see possibly a storm of brewing. They don't want to be a part of any chaos or any chaotic things about to be a front. So others are just trying to be patient, more so, like we just alluded to, than others. I like the cat truck.
Yeah, that is Mr. Bandit.
Scott Scoggins.
Yep. A very good fellow competitive driver on the Super Speedway course. Also, Robin Amaral hanging back there in 18th, just cruising. He knows it's a long race, and he's just here to have some fun on top of everybody else. Lap 7 in the books, all doing so good. They're all trying to get used to each other. A new group of guys, Will, and a lot of new ones for us. Oh, that was about to get ugly.
Contact.
Oh, what a
there was contact made, but yes, indeed. Scott's going to lose a couple of positions here. Everybody's going to get shuffled to a certain extent. But for the most part, everybody saved it. Everybody got it straightened out. And no caution came of it. And we are 7 laps into this race, working 8.
Oh, yeah. You see Scoggins getting by Mr. Paul Lawson. Lawson was one of our drivers in the 87 side of things, Will. He wanted to come up here and see what these guys are all about. So always an honor to have a few of those boys. And I think we're going to have a hell of a season, to be honest with you, Will.
Oh, yes, all throughout. Can't wait for it. I have to agree with you as well. So we almost have 3 different groups here. You have this lead group that's about 11, almost 12 trucks strong, but 11 trucks strong. And then there's about 4 or so that's trying to be separated as well, and then a few more after them. So looks like at least, I don't know, 8 or 9, maybe 10 after the 4. So they're just, like I said, It could be just be people riding, being patient. You have this front pack up here. We almost saw a wrong move go awry, so...
Oh, yeah. And it is a lot of on and off throttle.
Oh, yes.
So, 70 laps to go next time by, Will. That outside lane is starting to fall back. Don't know if it looks like the 38 of Mr. Jaden Sanchez does have a little rear damage there. Now he's going to get caught in that sucker hole there. Is now going to...
In the middle. Look at Scott Scoggins making a move to the outside. He had a run, but as soon as he goes to the outside, kind of goes into that wall of air, and he's going to fall back a little bit. And that outside lane's going to forcibly be picking him up. And only 4 trucks strong out there. So like you talked about just a few moments ago, you said an on and off throttle. So throttle discipline most certainly comes into effect whenever you're pack racing, no doubt about it. Basically, if you're playing like a shooter, you have trigger discipline. Well, you gotta train your foot. You got to train yourself to have throttle discipline just as well as if you're coming off the corner at a short track or coming through a corner driving a road course. Got to have throttle discipline. So at a plate track, look at that shove. Almost another coulda, woulda, shoulda been a caution possibly, but I tell you, Daggett is not scared. He's able to take a bump. Some of these fellas, man, they can take it. It looks like they're about to wreck.
That whole backpack is now starting to catch this front pack here,
yep.
Which is going to bring them all close in together and now be a stronger force.
Just a big cluster.
Hey, B! What's up, buddy? Now, Will, looking at the outside lane, has that momentum and got by those cars on the bottom here. They should be coming up to pit stop ever so slightly as Troy drops down to the bottom lane to pick up Jaden.
Yes, I was going to say he went down to block Jaden, I do believe, because Jaden was trying to build up a run. He was setting third on the outside. Then he swooped down. Now he's leading that outside lane. Daggett knew he was coming. So, going to see this aggressive side draft now. Jaden really trying to get to the front.
Oh, yeah. Daggett's leading. Jaden on the outside trying to pull the outside lane. Will back up to Daggett and Joe, but they're stalling a little bit. These trucks can take a little bit of a beating, not so much, but it is getting comfortable pushing the driver that is in front of you. If you're not comfortable, you obviously won't do it. As you see there, the 22. Oh, what a save by the 4.
Did he really?
Yep. Right there. He saved it.
He saved it, but that's going to log jam the entire field just got jammed up. And it's amazing how they did not crash. But now we're going to have loads and loads of separation.
That was a good save, I would say, overall, Will.
Oh, overall, like as far as we know, nobody, spun off track to where there's no caution going to come of it. So, unlike the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series, everybody just crashed in turn 3 and 4, if anyone cares about that. But 28 to go there. I was accidentally checking in because I refreshed Twitch. But anywho, yes, like we talked about, Brian, multiple screens. As far as we know, there was no harm, no foul. So now it's a 7-truck breakaway at the front. Brian, Daggett, Cossey, Fashels, I hope I did not butcher that, Sanchez, Berger, Scoggins, Woodrum, Lyle is our 8-truck breakaway at the front of the field. And then Chris Cornette's going to be a 9th. He's going to be on the
Chris
toe.
Cornette's
He's
gonna
got
be
a
10th.
toe. He's 10th. 10-4. Yeah, they're going at it back there. They're going back. They're going at it a little bit further back here. So, 11 truck breakaway, Brian, at the front, if I'm not mistaken. So, still 11 trucks. 10 trucks. 10 trucks. Get a recount, Willie. Go back to kindergarten. 10 truck breakaway at the front, and then it's a second and a half back to Michael Day leading the second field, or the second pack back here.
Which is only 2 of them, Michael Day and Robert Amaro. That is it.
Yes, they're in a tandem of their own. So that's what I meant about earlier. Whenever we saw that jam up occur, the 4-truck having to save it, and Lyle did a great job. But what happened with the rest of the field? Put on binders and just somehow was able to save it. Nobody, took too big of evasive maneuvers. So we have Matthew Hunsaker and Barry. That's going to be Mark Barry, because Dave is in Dave's in the other truck in the 56. So those two are in risk. They're in a tandem of their own, I do believe, but they're at a risk of going a lap down. They're only a few seconds away, Brian, of going a lap down. Well, about 10 seconds away, Brian, from going a lap down. So, but we're getting into that pit window, Brian, we're getting in that pit window. It's about to be open here, that we do believe. So we should be suspect.
Who out of this big hunk of trucks here? Who can get on pit road the safest without running into each other? And it's all about communication. We know this. Unfortunately, in real life, they don't do it like iRacing has the privilege. Press your button, queue up, and then, hey, I'm pitting 22.
But they will do it pretty good in real life. Yes.
Yes. So far, I'm not even gonna say it. Not even gonna say it.
No.
19 of 80 laps complete. I'm sure you know where I was going.
Yes. So good working, good pushing going on by the tandem of the leading rows there of the respective lanes of Berger leading, being pushed by Sanchez, and then I believe that's Cossey pushing Daggett. So we know Daggett, if I'm not mistaken, Daggett won Talladega towards the end of the last season, I do believe. So he knows how to wheel and deal at Talladega. We seen him, make his truck 3 lanes wide. We know what he can do.
So 20 of 80 laps complete, Will. I say next time by, they'll probably is when pit road will be open.
Oh, no doubt, because we heard the drivers say, while they're out there at speed, it's about 23, 22 laps, and so should see them, no doubt, 25. They shouldn't go no more than 25, so nobody of the front pack came that lap, so oh man, that was another great save. I don't know how many times that we've seen it, and I've lost count how many times on one hand. I know that's bad, but there's no telling how many times we haven't got to see it, but they're almost being a wreck. Like, just great control of these drivers so far this race, because at the speeds these trucks are going, how close they're going together, it can happen so quickly.
And remember, Will, pit road speed is 60 miles per hour. So going from almost 100 and Oh, here, let's pull
60?
up. Let's pull up some. Here we go. So about 185 is where Daggett's hovering around. So 185 all the way down to 60. So you got to make sure you're smooth on that brake, and don't want to lock it up. If you lock it up, then the guy behind you is just going to blister you, and it's not going to be good. So.
And you just got to think the people behind Daggett and Berger, they're going faster than him. So the power of the draft is incredible. Surprisingly, still not really no one pitting of the front pack. Man, they really nerfed the trucks, didn't they?
I think so.
That's like ARCA speed. Nah, not quite. Not quite. I give the trucks way too much stick.
I forgot to pull up our little map there. So you see, everybody is still quite there, and then you have Matthew and Dave and Mark Berry just cruising around right in front of them. So that
Well, I think they were able.
Oh, slow it down! Wow. Oof.
I think for the most part, Brian, they were still racing side by side. So whatever gaps that did get opened, they started to close them because they just got back in line and started to chase them back down, I do believe. But as we do see, green flag pit stops here happening, so great to see it. You love to see it. Looked like everybody got on pit road, and I even looked like they got down to commitment line speed.
And for those who are watching, don't understand, this isn't like Heat 5 where oh, that was close. Wow. Almost got blistered.
Yep. Yeah, it's not like either Heat 5 on console or even in the real world where the commitment line is the first line.
What I was also going to say is you have full control of everything. Driving your car down
yes.
pit road and then driving off. It's not AI where it takes over. You control everything. You control everything that you do. And for those of you that don't know, you do not. This is the only view you guys get, which is this right here. So it's a lot more harder than your full than what we have going. So.
Who did you pick to ride on board with? Whose offset is like that?
Deion Johnson.
Okay, because he's got some crazy offset.
As you see there, now that backpack is up in the front. Josh Small, Jacob Carter, Chris Campbell, and Brandon Moore. So these four have been hanging out in the back, just been riding around. I do believe their pit stops are going to be coming up. Now, well, the problem is you don't want to wait too long to complete your pits. Oh, there's also another one. Who is that? Oh, the 28 Quinn. And a caution is out, Will. Our first caution of
the what season are we in? Of the BNR Truck Series.
Yes. I know we all got confused, so we'll go back and take a look at what happened. So this obviously must have been coming out of the pits, Will. So, the 64 comes down and... Oh, very unfortunate. That's that getting greedy for that 3-wide maneuver. So, we're going to go back. We're going to ride on board with... Scott here.
And Not really fully sure what to make of this, how to call it here. Just kind of like what you said, like seeing it going down the back straightaway here, the racing.
Oh wait, I might have went too far. Sorry.
No, you good?
I could have just done that and then this. So as you see here, we're on board with Scott. You see here, he tries to go to the inside, but clips the 187 in the left quarter, sends him down into the 42. And unfortunately, that is going to be on the 64.
Oh yeah.
And just everybody trying to slow down, and then the 187 comes down and clocks Matt. So, if I was a 64, I just would have rode, to be honest with you. So, first caution of the night, Will. And the 20 car is going to stay out here. Michael Day. Maybe we can go ahead and see, maybe we can talk to Michael.
And we just had basically green flag pit stops that we pretty much know for fuel, so a lot of people hopefully won't truly be trapped down by this, because I think for the most part everybody had somewhat cycled out. So no Michael Day?
Oh, we'll go ahead and talk to Chris.
Oh. Chris?
Chris Cornett, it's Will and Brian. How's it going?
Doing good.
Well, you're currently sitting P2 at the moment. How intense is it right now out there for you?
Right now I'm just trying to play it safe until the end, just trying to either keep it up front, or if I can keep it up front is my main goal, but if not, I'll just hold up in the back. But right now, keeping it up front, keeping it out of trouble has been good so far, so we'll keep doing it that way.
How is the how is that Ally Chevy machine handling for you in traffic?
It handles like a dream.
That's good. That's good.
One to go.
Well, sir, you're P2. I'm going to get you back up there, and best of luck to you, sir.
I appreciate it.
Well, you got anything for Chris?
Well, Chris, are you surprised that we went as long as we did without having a caution? Because you guys quite racy.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, there should have been a couple cautions there early, but we kept it straight, kept it clean. Everybody was able to hold it straight and keep it going, so surprised there. But that one caution coming out, I was literally right behind it, so I made it through, luckily. So hopefully we keep that luck going on our side and get this thing into a top 5, possibly a win.
Yes, sir. I'm going to get you back up there. Best of luck to you, bud.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry, Will. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good. I said what I was about to. So it looks like Scott's going to have the lead here. And Chris just got through talking to him. Chris Cornett's going to restart on the outside.
Go for him. He's a newcomer. Like to see him do well. Like to see everybody do well. Daytona's very tough. But you see there, well, the pace lights are off the pace truck as they're going to come to lap 30. And about 11 more laps, well, they'll be halfway. So they got majority of the laps gone. So.
And we do have 5 trucks trapped 1 lap down from kind of just being caught out from that first caution of the evening. As green flag back out in the air tonight. So that time it looks to be just about that outside lane that didn't get that good of a launch or restart that time.
But now, Will, are they going to get very antsy and be like, oh crap? Because we know cautions, precautions, precautions. Hopefully they can keep it going and we won't have to worry about everyone. Tyler, nice to see you out there, Ty. Thank you for coming in, tuning in. Our first caution came out on lap, what was it?
25, 26.
Yes. So, good to have you out here. So, anyway, Will, the outside lane's starting to prevail again.
Yep, we see it getting double fouled backups. They're getting racy again as came close again to likely said coulda, woulda, shoulda had a caution, but we did not. Rubbin is extremely racing, even at these speeds. So these guys somehow able to keep it holding straight is just head scratching, mind puzzling to me.
We have a lead change up in the front, Will. It was Ernest King. Now it's Daniel Lyle. So, and now it's back to Ernie again. We'll come up here in the front for a few laps. You see there the 24 of Ernest. Good to have Ernest back. Another good driver when it comes to the super speedway side of things. So. Those who got involved in that wreck earlier, and as we say, here comes the 1 and the 4 wheel on the outside. Joseph Causey and Daniel Lyle. So,
yeah, Ernest King and Chris Quinnett working that bottom.
And Michael Day, he was with us last year. He had a hell of a season last year. Now he's got a full season under his belt, Will, so now he knows how to get her done. So,
yeah, he was pretty consecutive as far as trying to show up to every race. I think he might have only missed 3 or 4, perhaps, if that. So I would say like almost a perfect attendance, if you would say.
I tell you what.
So,
that's not a bad looking one truck, ain't it?
No, not at all. Basically, what is that? Basically, Ross Chastain. As if it was on a truck. Yes, is what I'm trying to get. So, English can be difficult from time to time. So these guys trying to give each other space, separation, room, as they did in the first opening 24, 26 laps, and respect each other the best that they can.
But I do believe, Will, that is the best thing about coming to iRacing is because we always wanted to control our cars under cautions and drive it down pit road because we would have that advantage to capitalize coming off of pit road. But when you have the AI take over, it's like, okay, you just go in and then you come out exactly right where you started. So, but iRacing's a lot of getting used to. And if you know a great group of guys that know how to drive, like, we got a few here. Oh, that 9 slides up there in that Alabama truck. So, iRacing is just a great platform, I would say. They got their stuff jotted down, so I couldn't be thankful to switch over. And always good to have you here by my side, too, bring you with me. Gives you something to do and on your free time. So, couldn't be much thankful for that, as you see there.
Very tight. So, another close call, avoided. Oh, and they're still trying. So,
but they got it though. I give them props. They got it.
Somehow or another. And they're still going at it too. They've not really decided, hey, let's just ride it out, let's just log some laps. They're determined to race, put on a show, you gotta keep trying.
Oh yeah. And being on the outside lane wheel is very tough too, because as you're turning your wheel, you want to try to keep her off that wall, because that wall will just grab you if you're not turning it right. Side drafting too.
Exactly.
Side drafting has a big factor in iRacing. So where if you side draft enough, you'll pull that second place car off and stall out the inside lane. So that was another good factor of iRacing does. But if you're not cautious on how you do it, you could ruin the whole field by doing a silly mistake as side drafting. If you don't know how to do it, I would recommend don't doing it until you get a little bit more comfortable with it.
Ernest King making a bold move down the front straightaway to take the lead down the back as Chris Cornett got back to his back bumper. They are working very well together. They got separated, and they somehow found a way to magic carpet ride back to one another. And look at who's in third in that bottom line. It is Jaden Sanchez. Every time you think they've swept him under the rug, he is trying to get back out from underneath it. So, there he is.
Yep, I was 88.
Cornette's making me a bit paranoid here, but other than that, we got somebody falling back a little bit, it looks like, so trying to get out of the war zone.
They probably don't like what they see in the front, but Will, if you're going to go with momentum, you see there Jaden has to be careful with making moves like that. He's trying to get extra aggressive there and go where the run's at. But it's going to come back and halt him if one of these drivers do not check up and he just gets clipped. So, you see here side by side, 4 rows. Outside lane has a good amount of cars, Will. The inside, they're still separated by a little bit, but they're playing cautious, I do believe. And I do believe here in the tail end of this line is Dion. I'm glad to have Dion back. Dion's a hell of a driver too as well. So
a lot of playing cautious, a lot of playing all in. So
next time by we will be halfway through the race, and then we'll do our favorite portion of the night when we hit that halfway mark, which is
we are halfway.
Now
we're lap 40.
According to iRacing, it's always the next lap when you hit the halfway.
41. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, 41.
Because
whenever you complete.
Oh, there's the
halfway.
Oh, there's the big one.
Huge crash. Yes, this is going to take out all that is in that front field and maybe a couple of more stragglers that was just riding in the middle, like of the grid that was trying to ride just a little bit back from. Do we have a quick fix this season?
Yes. Jaden's missing the whole left side of the truck there, Will.
One quick fix.
Oh,
yeah, Jaden got peeled open like a can opener, so did the 4. So, new damage model, I think, during the off-season to the trucks. So, I have to go back and look at how this started. This one kind of caught me off guard. I was kind of thinking of other things, per se, in the race at that time. I wasn't thinking there was, looks like just from the still frame of going to the replay, there was just, is this somebody?
Jaden.
Did the window, okay, is that what you think here? Okay. So, riding on board with Jaden and the 38. And Is he going to see this window of opportunity and go for it? Is he going to really jump through the window here?
I see. I
So
was getting that.
gets a pretty good run. Going to third person. Going to third person. So gets a real good run, pushing the one in up there, Burger, and oh, okay. So the one comes down. The one didn't like that he was going to make that move. So the one's trying to come down to defend this, and man, well, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, you know. And it's just one of those cases because truly no one is safe in this wreck. It starts with the second and third car, but the leader, you know, you hear people say, well, where do you want to be? Well, I want to be the leader. Okay, well, the leader was leading this race. You know, Berger was leading this race, and he gets tapped from the person in second place, going down to kind of defend, and just net codes, walks it up the track and net codes. And does Scott make it through? Does Scott Scoggins, or does he get? Okay, so Daggett and Scoggins, but oh man, everybody else, look at this, just everybody else is piling into this like just madness.
Mm.
It is just remarkable.
Whew. What a wild one, Will. Scoggins up front, Daggett, Ernest King, Stipe, Causey, Berger, O'Quinn, Cornette, Dion, and Cameron. And Lyle, Barry, Day, Moore, Stewart, Small, and everybody else from there. I do believe Scott's going to stay out. Yes, and everybody else is going to come in behind him. What an absolute wild wreck that was, Will. That was one of the big
Even
ones.
even the people who were about a second and a half, 2 seconds back from the leaders, weren't safe, because even though you think you got a decent gap, that's not enough gap to stop. So the people who, who normally play it safe, like the Josh Smalls and the others, and in the play it safe category, Brian, that we know, they could have been probably clear. I don't think Josh got collected in there. I don't think he might have, but you know what I'm saying, Brian. Like, there's normally some fellas that normally have a good gap, and I think we had a handful of guys that were about 6 seconds back before that wreck occurred. So we did have some guys that for sure missed this crash. But other than that, a lot of people just used the quick fix here, Brian.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of them did. So Scoggins back up front. Daggett P2, Ernest King P3, Joe Stipe P4, Joseph Causey P5, Chris Berger P6, Randy, and we're green flag.
Scoggins got to be careful not to change lanes after or before, that start-finish line. So Daggett up there getting a good push from the one. If I'm not mistaken, they've been working pretty well since they've been able to get together.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Chris Kamari got Daggett over here, right? So
Yes.
I guess old Chris wasn't able to, you know, race on Tuesdays, or he must be busy or something. That's all good. Hate to see it though. Kind of, you got these guys trying to struggle to get some guys to get back up here and race after you just saw everybody kind of get wiped out in 3 and 4. So everybody a bit hesitant on the restart to kind of get going. As we kind of see some faces up here that we haven't seen all night. O'Quinn up here in the 28 truck, Joe Stipe in the 13. They were kind of hanging in the back a little bit.
Oh yeah, but Joe on the outside lane, doing very good, keeping her out there with Mr. Joe Causey and Troy Daggett.
All right, we still have 3 trucks, 1 lap down. Hunsaker, I believe, is 3 laps down, and Faschaltz is in the pits along with who is in the pits?
Jared.
Jared. Okay, Matthew just brought his truck back into the pits as well. So
that outside
you got to remember
again of Daggett and Joe Causey. Those two working really good at the moment, for sure.
Yeah, Scott Scoggins kind of getting a good side draft as the outside lane kind of went to that wall, but Scott now, that was close for Flashouts there coming out of the pits, that bottom lane, but Ernest trying to get a run, taking it to the high side. Is he going to have any takers? Berger's going to take a chance to go with him.
And then Dave Barry out there.
Yep. Good tandem working from the 1 and the 99 machines leading this field currently. So it's going to take a lot to get by them. Michael Day, Dave Barry back here. Chris Cornett as well, trying to get back up to the front. I like what Michael did to his truck.
Student driver.
And it looks like a caution sign. Get it? Caution.
You see Chris Cornett back up in the mix here.
So closing in on 50 laps put down, 48 in the books. As soon as they make it back to the stripe. Oh, Joe went up almost into Michael, but they got it straight. Everybody kept it clean. Good racing here. Truly only 2 cautions of asking. That's pretty tempered. I kind of might have expected a little bit more. I was expecting 3 cautions by now, truth be told. Since we've already had cautions, I don't mind to talk about it now.
Yep.
Aggressive push there by Scott. 3rd truck on the bottom, but I believe Scott kind of knows his role being the 3rd truck. He does have a lot of super speedway experience, so that should hopefully play over. As we see,
And
go ahead.
I was just going to say 50.
Yep, so 80 laps here, so not quite the distance of a scheduled truck race in the real world, but the scheduled distance of an ARCA race. Little known stat facts for anyone that cares about, well, what's the actual race distances in the real world? Well, there you go.
Yeah, the trucks actually do 100 laps.
Yep.
Oh! Man!
Yeah, what a very close one. Lawson getting right in front of the four of, I'm going to remember him by the night, Lyle. I don't know why I can't. It's very familiar with our friend Kyle, so. I mean, he's not, but the name is, get it? Just drop the K and it's Lyle. I think it could be a different spelling. I'm not. Anyway, Brian. Nice, so, yeah, just drop the K. I wish I had my back scratcher out in this room.
Oh, well, they are still continuing to be side by side here. There's still a few
Yes,
names
indeed.
that we haven't seen up here yet, but they're waiting. I do believe they're going to wait.
Yeah, it's not crunch time. It's not go time. It's not money time. It's still count those. Keep counting chickens. How many chickens are still out there?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, indeed.
Oh.
This is going to be huge. Wow. Another huge one. And this is definitely going to take some of those that have already used that quick fix, and they are definitely going to be done for the day. It looks like some of these trucks. Just they might be able to drive it back to the pits, but it might be a long repair, Brian, if they've already used that quick fix. So going down the back straightaway, looks like we're going to see a bump turn into a bad bump. A bump draft go awry. Looks like it's going to be from the outside lane. Chris Cornette's going to give a good bump to Michael Day. Michael Day's already, he's following Dave Berry. If I'm not mistaken, the brothers Berry and Michael Day, I believe they're teammates. Oh, man. Oh, Mark! He T-boned Michael. So, similar to if anybody was watching the Real World Cup race here last August, Ryan Priest, the spectacular Ryan Priest crash, that was just a bump draft, too hard of a bump draft if we all remember right. And anywho, so basically that's what this is, Chris coming up, just giving, yep. So I think Chris was just off-centered to the left, and you can't be off-centered to the left. You need to be more so to the right. These trucks don't like getting hit no stock car vehicle, or really for that matter any race car, likes getting hit in the left for some reason. Aerodynamics and just just hard hits here for the 88 and 91 machines. I don't know how the 91 drove away.
Peter.
But
Tyler said, "Where's Kyle Petty at?" Well, Kyle Petty ain't here. Sorry, but I don't know your problem is Kyle Petty. But you got Benny Parsons up here with me, so. Oh, look at that! Dave Barry in the front.
As he basically loses all of his help and teammates, so that's got to feel nice.
Third caution of the night, Will.
Yes, indeed. Third caution, so I might have jinxed it whenever I said I was thinking about 3 cautions around this point, but not too bad of a race, not too bad of a run here. Let's pull Dave into the booth. I believe he's up there. Let's give him the old commentator's curse. I mean, let's hope not, but That seems to be about the forte.
Mr. Barry.
Dave! I like shouting your first name. He likes shouting your last. Tell us about all the chaos and all. Like it seemed to start off really good, and then now it's just you don't know when it's going to strike, Dave. You just don't ever know.
No, you don't. Cars have been getting a little squirrely here and there since the whole race started, but it's just a matter of trying to stay in line. I tried to get on a different strategy here, but yeah, I mean, you just never know. You get the wrong little bump draft, and it just throws your car off, and next thing you know, it could end up into some trouble. But we've had a lot of close calls, and they've done a great job avoiding a lot of things.
Oh, for sure. I'm up to my. I think both hands now. How many things we've actually seen? There's no telling how many things we haven't caught on camera, as far as catches and saves and slides. But door checks that you guys have pulled off that we haven't seen. So best of luck though. Go moving forward, Dave, and go get them, man. You seem to be in a decent position at the moment, but anywhere can be a bad position in this race at the moment, so you never know, Dave.
Well, I just wanted to lead a lap, get out front, and hopefully, I actually need another caution, but I know everybody else could probably go all the way, so I'm really actually praying for another caution, to be honest with you.
I think we'll get it.
Yeah.
I think we'll get it.
Well, all right, Dave. We're going to get you back up there. We're going to let you enjoy the rest of your racing. It's awesome to have you back, and best of luck to you.
Thanks, guys. It's good to be back.
No problem. Hurry up and move them. How do I... Oh, here we go. There you go. So Dave Berrywell. Always good to have him back. And Tyler said, woohoo, Benny Parsons. So there you go. Well, you got yourself a supporter there.
Which Tyler is it? We know so many Tylers.
Ortega.
Anime. Yes. Hello. This evening, Anime.
I know. We have a lot of Tylers.
Yes, there's so. Yes, it's sometimes.
Anyway.
Spanky. Yeah, there's so many. There's so. Basically, there's for every Tyler, there's another Brian.
Yes.
So, yes, indeed, under green again, as barreling into turn one, under speed, going up into the gear, should be hitting fourth gear, right about either here or the exit of turn two. So, everybody up to full song. When they come off of turn four, you hope to be, as somebody making sure that wall is doing its job down the back straightaway.
25 laps to go, Will, by the way.
Yes, indeed. As Dave alluded to, everybody should be able to make it from this way forward. Maybe. But Dave definitely cannot. Dave is going to be praying for a Hail Mary that he gets that caution he so is looking forward to seeing. But everybody else is just hoping that they can stay in line until they see that white flag, and then everything, if need be, can ensue. But I still think it might be a bit. Oh, that was close again. It might be wishful thinking from Dave, thinking that everybody can go all the way from the drop of the green flag from which we just started. So.
Yeah, that was all Robert Amaral, a.k.a. Delta. Yep.
Man. Making moves. Risky business. This racing is, this pack racing.
Well, Will, I think next week we head to Myrtle Beach in the BNR Truck Series.
Mark Berry and J.D. O'Brien, the 9 and 11 trucks respectfully, oh my goodness, are a lap down, one lap down.
Yeah. He said, I'm getting out of that. I don't want no part of it. He must know something's going to be up.
Did you say Myrtle Beach?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a fist pump in the air for tracks that no longer exist. So that is fantastic news to hear. As I thought we were going to see another wreck coming into the start-finish straight dog leg portion of the track. So I know, as Ken Swire, Institute for Commentators, would probably say, you're not really supposed to raise your voice too much or get excited, like you're supposed to stay at a certain tone, but sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes, your emotions just take over and get the best of you. But yeah, man, these guys have been non-stop racing, it seems like, from the drop of the green flag. I tell you, if DNA was not already in use as like a trademark, Brian, you should have went for it, but unfortunately, we both know. Anywho, but yeah, I feel like that would be a great name for a racing league, but unfortunately, it's a wrestling company. But
I see there the 4 getting a little loosey-goosey down there. But the problem is, well, when is that 56 going to pull off the track to take his pit stop and to get out the way of these drivers?
Long answer short, or the fastest answer to that question is when he needs to, to be a sarcastic answer to you. But, yeah, we don't know. We're not his crew chief, unfortunately, so we don't get to see the estimated fuel left in that pickup. So, yeah, these guys slicing and dicing, though, that is for sure. They are trading lanes. They are trading shots.
Joe Stipe leading that outside lane. You see the 99 swerving behind him. He's got the 64 right behind him. The 5, the 91, the 1, and the 9. All on that outside lane, Will. I would say too heavily aggressive pushing at the moment with 20 laps to go.
Daggett really pushing Joe. I thought he might have was about to hit Joe, but luckily Daggett knew better. Being real patient, trying to push Joe here, so trying to make something work.
Yes, sir. Well, while we still got the time...
Mark,
go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mark Berry, trying to make a recovery drive. We've seen him do it in the past. Getting caught up in a wreck or what have you, and being a lap down or just trying to drive back from that. He is currently, if I'm not mistaken, he's the first car 1 lap down. So if something wants to occur, he would get that as long as he's not involved in that, said caution. So, but yes, 20 to go, 19 to go, Brian. So 18 at the stripe. So anything can happen. I want to believe that everybody still has to pit. Dave Berry doesn't think so. He believes he's the only one left to pit. So he believes everybody else can make it. He definitely doesn't think he can make it. He probably had about a half a tank, if not maybe a quarter of a tank. When the caution came out, he wanted to play it, a short game perhaps. So many trucks in this bottom lane just to feed, and they're all bottom feeders. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, Lawson. So there's so many guys out here with really loose, a lot of give in their offset, Brian, is what I'm trying to allude to. So they don't like a stiff. They like a lot of play. So to each their own. Everybody, that's one of the things you get to adjust in a fixed series. League. Oh, Joe walking it up the track, getting pushed by Daggett. So maybe that outside lane, unfortunately, hate to say it, Joe, but maybe you need to secede and maybe be the pusher, not necessarily get pushed. Maybe we need a different lead truck in this outside lane. Hate to say it, but just sometimes it results can show. As they say, results may vary. So only 4 trucks though in that outside lane. That does have a little bit to do with it too.
Yes.
As they keep ticking the laps away like the time.
Absolutely. Anyway, well, we'll do our little session of the night since we didn't get to it because the caution came out, and I think we should be okay. So we'll give wet our tonsils, and we'll give you the guys the awesome.
I don't have tonsils. They got removed whenever I was a
Oh no! Never mind. We ain't doing it.
Oh! This is the third big one of the night. Going into turn 3, they were trying ever since turn 2, and it finally finished in turn 3. So sometimes it just takes the entire back straightaway to figure out what's going to happen. And it's not pretty. And it's not going to get any prettier in the replay, that is for sure. But we're going to take a look at it here. No, we just didn't have to crank it up all race, but that's okay.
Right as we want to get to it, it just... So this happened up towards the front. I don't know. I want to say we'll go here. Yeah, okay.
You need to go a little bit.
That was with this one. There you go. So
I think somebody just kept shoving. No, what happened? Okay. So as soon as Joe got clear, I think what happens here? Okay. Joe gets clear, and he just immediately comes down, and that was no bueno. So that was just that bottom lane just couldn't. It just jammed up that bottom lane. It just could not. They unfortunately failed to react to Joe. That was just their brains overloaded. Like they were already had a run built up. After they came out of the corner, Joe's run was leaving turn 2, but that bottom lane was just starting to pick back up, right, Brian? Right before Joe, right as Joe was getting clear, was when that bottom lane was picking its momentum back up, right? So, as we see here, trucks kind of, bam, coming into it. Did Mark Berry get involved in this, Brian? Because we know he was the first truck, 1 lap down, trying to be the lucky dog recipient. As we rode on board with Christopher Campbell, the beer, you're going to have to do the little, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with sponsor plugs. Unless it was probably like a note, like trying to read his sponsor upside down was like, no, I'm sorry. That is
Bearded
one
Bear
time
Customs.
I can't read upside. Yeah, Bearded Bear Customs, yes.
Oh no, that's gonna hurt. He did not get it.
Oh man, he was trying so hard to be, that first truck 1 lap down. As we saw some trucks crabbing. So that's just the extent of their damage. So questionable calling, but hey, it's part of the racing here. It's part of the plate package that the kind of the box you get put in whenever you come to these type of tracks. As far as pack racing, Brian, you get clear and you want to try to jump down to that lane or jump up in that lane, and that lane that you're jumping down into, or just that you're jumping into per se, is already building back up steam and momentum, and unfortunately just mistiming truly really is what that kind of looks like at the end of the day. Just mistiming. It's part of racing. It's gonna happen, and you just hate to see it though. You truly
well,
do.
I have to use the restroom real quick. I'm sorry, but
You're good.
anyway,
Hopefully
they
it's not
will
a long
be
one.
no, they will be coming back to green this time by, so that's perfect. I'll be right back.
Mhm. So looks like Joe Stipe, Troy Daggett. We got Lyle in the 4 truck, third position, who was had multiple saves all throughout the night here. We got O'Quinn in that 28 Texaco Haviland truck. Jacob Carter in that 54. Brandon Moore, 6th position. In 3rd place, Dave Barry with a full tank of gas. He is sitting in 7th place. Josh Small, 7th or 8th, give or take, however iRacing wants to score this. And Woodrum in that 5, he is sitting in 9th position. Ernest King rounds out the top 10. So lights are out on that Chevy Silverado pace truck, iRacing pace truck, as working our 4th caution, as we're going to get the green with 12 laps remaining in this race. And we're back to having 3 trucks, 1 lap down. Berger, Amaral, and I think Stewart pitted, so 2 trucks, 1 lap down, green flag back out in the air. Boy, getting a good push there by the 28 machine of O'Quinn. Got good commitment working on this outside lane. Everybody trying to work together here. Oh, O'Quinn, he's going to scrape the wall and then come back down the track. Is that going to be another caution? Looks like there's still green. I do not know how. Everybody held it together, but there's still green. Lyle giving some good pushes to the back of the 13 of Joe Stipe. Josh Small sitting there in 3rd place. Woodrum and Daggett. Got Cameron Smith in that 7 Napa truck. Daggett's going to get shuffled to the back of this front group, if not a little bit further back, as he's trying to stay out there to get a lane formed. And it looks like he's going to have some helpers go up there.
Looks like Joe got a little squirrely there, Will.
Most definitely. Looks like it could be an even amount of trucks on either lane. There was a bit of a stack up that happened, so we have a 10 truck breakaway up at the front.
And I agree with Tyler. Well, he said money, time, intensity picking up. Yes, that 10 laps to go there. So now, Will, we have those guys who were hanging out in the back are now up in the front.
Well, a few of them, yes, indeed. Some of them just not being able to be there until now, but others trying to stay away from everything that has already transpired. So Daggett going, leading that outside lane. Oh, he got swirly though, getting a great push, just outstanding push from Campbell in that 68 machine.
Too much of aggressive push. You see there, Josh Small going to jump to the outside. which is Campbell.
Daggett. And Daggett goes low because he possibly was maybe tired of getting pushed by Christopher.
So it's Christopher, Cameron, Jacob, Josh, and Brandon, all on the outside. And then it's Daggett, Joe, Daniel, P, and Paul on the inside. Which lane has the more momentum, Will? I guess we'll have to find out. 8
outside.
to go.
Outside lane looks to be a bit more orderly, but we got more trucks. Everybody's getting more grouped up here. Aggression is picking back up because more trucks entered the fray. They got a hold of the tail. They were able to pull themselves back up to the front of the field here. Oh, going down. We got trucks tangling, going back up towards the track.
That's what I'm talking about. That 3-wide move was not a good decision at all.
You can see the run that Scott gets here. He's way back, and he decides to, like you said, kind of put it 3 wide. He's going to go, and he gets a good run, but you're going to run out of real estate. Things are going to happen. Tight racing in that circumstance, and just, oh man. Whenever it's late in the going, people, they're not really going to let out the throttle and let you in if you think you have a half a truck on them or something to that extent. Michael Day is ruined, it looks like. No pun intended at all. But, man.
Very unfortunate for Michael. He was having a very good race. Well, here we sit. I mean, we can talk to Troy, Campbell, Joe.
Well, let's grab old Jacob. He's sitting in P6 right now.
All right. Carter.
Jacob.
Hello.
Back to the... Anyway, so 5th caution of the night. It's not going to be green, white, checkered territory yet, I don't think. But, do you think we'll get there? Do you think we'll step our toes into that water, Jacob?
I hope not, because we got a good position, and it'll be a shame for these front people to wreck, because I know that's what's going to happen, because we're going to get aggressive with about 3 laps to go. So I'm hoping everything will sort itself out, and we'll figure out. But we got good track position. We've been working hard getting up here, and Brandon got a little damage from that previous thing. So we got Chris and Josh.
What's been your thoughts of the race so far tonight, up until this point, Jacob?
Dumbhead moves. Honestly, they just need to calm down and race. Like it was like lap 20, and we have like 60 laps to go. So I don't know why they're being like that, but just they need to settle down and race their race. Which now it's coming to 4 laps to go. So I get now that we're gonna have to push, but it was just way too early. Just dumbhead moves that could have been avoided.
Maybe going forward in this, I guess you could call it, the BNR Speed Week. You would like to see a little bit less aggressiveness, just more patience is all you're asking.
Yeah, a little bit. Just not getting in over your head.
So I do have to agree with you on that. So best of luck in the closing laps here, Jacob. Brian, any final thoughts there for Jacob?
just keep doing what you're doing. You guys survived this far, so just best of luck to you. And I noticed you, Campbell, Josh, you all been working together, so keep doing what you're doing, and maybe you guys will bring it back first, second, and whoever else is there with you in third. So
I'm gonna try my best. Maybe if Cameron get his high horse up there, we'll get on there.
all right, buddy. Best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end.
I appreciate it.
Yep. Right there.
All right,
Will.
everybody's going to have to dodge, duck, and weave, for those shots that were just fired. But for the most part, facts. Going to have to stand by those. So
Yeah.
lights are out on that Chevy Silverado pace truck there of iRacing. So working our fifth caution of the night. Let's see if the prediction is going to hold true or not here in the BNR Truck Series.
Overall, Will, I would
First-
say a great opening start to the season, though. Absolutely.
No, fantastic race. Loads of excitement all throughout, from the drop of the green flag to even now. Only this many cautions. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a demolition derby, but it wasn't completely. So
And the next time we are back at this track, will be Friday for the fixed Cup cars and the Bearded Bear custom fixed Cup Series. So I know that's a big sponsor for the fixed side of things, but they'll be in the today's Cup cars. So those of you who are tuning in, come back on Friday. And then Saturday, you can catch Will and Chris on 105 Studios broadcast for Saturday as we take on our setup side of things at this track too. Anyway, Will, the green flag is about to come back out here.
and it's 3 laps of asking. It's not green light checkered territory yet, but close enough of asking. So what's going to transpire here? Who's going to work with who? Who's going to leave who here on this restart? What we would hope to see and be the final restart of the race. Christopher Campbell out there being pushed by Cameron Smith. He's got Jacob Carter behind. In the bottom lane, you have Daggett, Stipe, and Lyle. So as they're just jockeying now, Campbell coming down the track, getting into that bottom lane. Now Cameron Smith being pushed by Jacob Carter. Carter's got Josh Small right behind him. They're getting 3 wide in the middle. Oh, there's not a crash. I thought I saw a crash, but it did not. Apparently, it was just imagination running wild. As Cameron now drops to the bottom, Jacob Carter is going to lead the top lane. He's got help. He's got loads of help from the 12 and the 3 behind. So, yes, indeed, coming off of turn 2, he's going to take the lead. How many trucks are clear? It is going to be the question. This is a lap and a half of asking. So, Cameron Smith
Coming
on
through
the
white
bottom.
flag, Will. There it comes.
Indeed. Can they hold it together to get to the white? It looks like
no.
they are.
That's the final lap. That's the final lap.
Yes, it is the final lap. They got to the final lap. They saw the final lap wave. Get back to the leaders. Here we go. Unfortunate that Christopher Campbell not able to stay up here strong. He got there, but unfortunate, not going to be there at the checkers to settle it amongst these competitors. Carter, Small, Moore. Who's going to go where? Working around some slow traffic here. Getting caught up in a crash. Cameron Smith trying to be in the coattails if anything happens. Carter goes up to block Small. Small comes back down the track. Moore hits Small. Comes back. Hits. Carter wins it. Interesting finish to this race. Oh my goodness. You know, if this would have been true NASCAR, they would have probably called a green light checkered for that crash. That maybe I don't know. That would have been a very high limit judgment call because I tell you what, they started crashing right before the stripe, and iRacing just said no, we didn't see that, and it came down to that. So Brandon Moore gets second by a fender over the 12 of Josh Small. That beaten and banging coming off of turn 4. As we get back, we're going to get a replay of the crash here coming to the white flag. This is the white flag crash coming to the white flag. So here we go, coming off of turn 4. Everybody side by side. We're just jockeying here, and the one is coming down. Everybody's gonna. Oh, Joe Stipe kind of gets into the back of Daggett a bit off-centered. That starts everything. Daggett becomes a bit of a pinball at that point, and Ain't Jemima. Everybody in a little bit further back of that front group, just calamity right there. The one. Martin Truex Jr. Back in the Busch Series, Richmond did that exact same thing so many years ago. But that's how that unfolded. Joe kind of got pushed from Lyle, I do believe. No. But unfortunately to call it, but that might have been all Joe and Daggett there as Joe and Daggett were trying to maybe work together, or Joe was trying to push Daggett the best he could, but just unfortunate off-centeredness happened. But heck of a finish.
Very good finish, Will, I would say. Good way to start the season.
So Jacob Carter wins this race, and that 54 machine. Brandon Moore gets second place, and Josh Small, it was a photo finish for second and third, as Josh Small finishes third in that 12 machine. So exciting way to kick off the BNR season here for the trucks, and overall as well, you know, the BNR series of league. Could probably say that a bit better backwards, but as
You can go ahead and go ahead and talk to Josh. Mr. Small,
Yes, sir.
how is it going?
Oh, it's going, buddy.
All I'm saying is wow. What a wild finish.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was probably the funnest Daytona we've had in the trucks. That was action-packed from the front to the middle to the back. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, it was. Absolutely it was.
you mean drive? I hope you wasn't like, what? You said watch. You were driving, Josh. Come on now. Like you,
I watched
you
with the other
meant to say
admins.
drive, right? Come on now.
We were watching from the back, and then, we were like, that last caution come out, it's like, hey, we need track position, so we got it, and it was like, stay nose to tail until the last lap. So we stayed nose to tail until the last lap. And then Brandon's like, we can't fight it out now. If we fight it out now, then all the progress we made, we're going to lose. Wait till we come out of 4 and then fight it out. So we come out of 4, and I knew Brandon was going to run on the inside. I knew Jacob was going to block, and he was going to block very aggressively, and I can't defend an aggressive block. I had a nose, Oh, the quarter panel, I had to lift, and when I lifted, I was able to jerk it down to the bottom side, and Brandon was there. And Brandon's like, no, 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 no. I would have forced him below the yellow, which would have forced him to spin me. So I held my line in the middle and then just kind of door checked him to try to slow him down enough to hold P2. But he got me there across the line, it was a lot of fun. That whole race was just a lot of fun. We were in the middle of the pack early, and then we drifted back because we didn't want to get caught up. I was able to avoid a couple of the wrecks, which was beneficial to me because the truck stayed clean most of the race. So I was able to, to get a podium to start the season. So hopefully we can carry that, through most of the season and try to get some good points to set up for the playoffs. But this is what racing's all about right here. It's just exciting, man. I'm shaking. This was a very exciting race. It was a lot of fun. Them boys, when we were riding in the back, them boys up front, they were racing hard. They raced 2, 3, sometimes 4 wide down the backstretch. Some guys got out of line, got out of shape, and they held it together, fell back in line, and we were able to hold it green through them bobbles. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, I fully aware of that. Anyway, sir, we started off awesome. It was a great race to watch. Absolutely, it was. Me and Will had a blast tonight. Started off great. You guys end up getting the runs that you needed. I think it was 25 laps. At least you guys got in before you had that caution. So that was pretty good. Everybody was pretty much relaxed for the most part. Well, some, shall we say. How was the truck handle overall? And then what was your guys' plan mid-pack being back there?
The truck handling was great. The truck actually preferred and handled the best on the worn tires. I know on that one green flag run, me, Brandon, Jacob, Campbell, and I do believe Kevin, which is the gas saver of the bunch, we all had 0.5, 0.3, 0.6, 0.8, and 0.2 when we come into the pits under that yellow. I got really lucky. As soon as the caution come out, I clutched it. I clutched it and shut it down, which was able to save me the 0.2 that I needed to get in the pits. And when I pulled into my box, I was at 0.1. I damn near ran out. When we came out and was running mid-pack, I told the guys to hold position, because if we all would have dropped back, it was going to cause mayhem. So 2 of us held position while the other ones actually fell back on the outside, and the guys on the inside just held position. And then the couple of scragglers in between us during that mid run, they were able to pass us, and we were able to group back up. We were able to hold consistent times and speeds back there, which is why we elected to stay back there from the beginning, so that way we didn't have to ride the brakes and you know what I mean, and do a lot of braking and off the gas. Because I've noticed a lot of these guys, when they're on the throttle and off the throttle going through these corners, they're upsetting the trucks, which we all know, if you're lifting and you're getting back in it, it's shifting that weight around, and then truck starts to break loose, which I do believe we had a caution midway because of that. The guys are breaking loose. Once that caution came out, we had another green flag run, almost a fuel run, and a green flag pit stop.
Right.
Which was really awesome to actually go through a fuel run or a pit run. It's really nice, and I think this is a great start of the season.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with you. Next week, the truck side goes to Myrtle Beach. What's going to be your mindset going into Myrtle Beach?
Not locking up the brakes. Myrtle Beach is not my strong suit. I'm definitely going to have to put some track time in. That track is a struggle to me. Even in the other series that I've ran there with you, I struggle there, but as long as I can just focus on running my line and hitting my marks, I'm fairly fairly okay. I'm probably going to be mid pack, but it's going to be a lot more trucks on there, and it's trying to hold consistent and not cause any issues. But I'll probably just ride around in the back and do what I did here and make a push, with the last 15 or 20 laps or so, and hopefully I can, get a good finish there. But track time is key, man. I mean, it's not just me; it's everybody. Whoever who puts the track time in, because they're just hitting their marks and they get comfortable and they're just hard to run down.
Yeah.
Super speedways, it's if you can stay out of the wrecks, you can get a good finish.
Yes, sir.
And so that's what I did tonight. I was able to keep the truck clean and out of the wrecks. And she was on rails. I felt like I could have been faster and could have been competing more up front. But with doing that, you put yourself at risk, and create situations where you're caught up in the wrecks and stuff like that. I know the last wreck, me and Campbell were nose to tail. He chose the bottom lane. He followed Brandon because Brandon went into the grass to avoid the wreck. He went to the apron, and as soon as he went in the apron, he got collected. And I held, the top of the bottom lane, and I was able to make it through. So, I mean, you got to be able to miss them. If you can miss them, then you're pretty much guaranteed a good finish.
Yes, you are, Josh, and congratulations again on that P3. That was a great photo finish. Brandon got you by a fender. Any final thoughts or shout-outs you'd like to give, Josh, before we let you go celebrate that podium finish here tonight for the season opener of the BNR Truck Series?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Thank you guys for putting it on. Hopefully we put on a good show for you. It sounds like you guys were having a hell of a time up there and very excited. So that's great. Yeah, thanks for you and Brian for commentating, and we can put on a good show. Thanks for Brian for keeping everything held together, and thank all of the racers for showing up and showing out. These guys, they were fighting tooth and nail. I mean, we were double wide most of that race, especially the first 5 or 6 rows. So hopefully we can keep that up all season long. I mean, we got an action-packed group. This is going to be a real real exciting season.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, and best of luck to you next week at Myrtle Beach, and also best of luck this week for the BNR Speed Week moving forward, Josh. Like I said, congratulations, and go celebrate that P3.
I appreciate it, buddy. We'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir. Next up, Brandon. I'll let you do the honors here. Be more.
What up?
Well, you survived it.
We survived.
Yeah, you did. It was, didn't really see you that much. We did here and there, and then, Pam, you were there. You told us.
I told you what I was going to do last week.
Yeah. I was getting there. You told us what you were going to do. You stuck by it. Okay, you were a man of your word. Tell you what, and you were going to beat Josh's door down. I think. God, I didn't say anything worse. Anyway, yeah, but you man, I thought you were gonna wreck him coming off of turn 4. I'm like, come on, Brandon, get him, come on, yeah, put him in the grandstand.
No, I wasn't gonna do that to him. I just try to rattle his cage.
Obviously, I know that, but my sinister side of myself was like, just had to think it. But anyway, it's Josh who anyway, yeah. P2 tonight after a kind of a long, hard, grueling race. Kind of a mental race because there was so much chaos just going on, so many catches and saves and moments, and just a lot of racing as well going on. There was so much side by side. Only 5 cautions tonight. Normally sometimes you go to a speedway race and you got a good group of guys. Well, sometimes you might just have a little bit more cautions than expected, but five, okay, that's not bad. Could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. So, what's your overall thoughts? The P2, and tell us about that finish, Brandon. Like that whole restart. What was the mentality?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a little bit of a setback there on that the final restarts because I had to pit there because earlier on, I don't know if you all seen it on the stream or not, I ended up getting my fender knocked off from a guy coming up off the wall, and I was managed to keep the draft, but I went down and did some optional repairs. I had about a minute 3 of optional because the right front fender was missing, so restarted P13, managed to get a good restart there. Get to the top, got behind Josh, worked with them guys that I've been working with all night, and we just made a good run at it, and managed to get around Josh at the end of it, managed to get P2 out of it, and it was a good night, very good night.
Well, it fortunately, yes, I don't know what I was going to put on, but yes, it fortunately was a good night for you, Brandon.
See, the goal was, as I said, I had to at least get podium because I had to come in here and talk to Will. If I don't come talk to Will, it's not a full race. So we're good. We got our achievement.
Next week, Myrtle Beach. It's a track that no longer really exists anymore, but final thoughts and shout-outs, and also the thoughts of Myrtle Beach being next week in the trucks, if you are going to be a full-time competitor in the trucks, Brandon, or kind of run when you're able to, I guess, on Tuesdays. I know you more so kind of care about the cup side, right? So, what's your thoughts overall, Brandon?
So the plan is to be full-time in the trucks as of right now.
Okay,
we'll see. No, you're good. We'll see how that goes, though, but that's the plan. Myrtle Beach, I only have maybe 2 races under my belt there at Myrtle Beach. I don't know if I've ran any in the trucks. Not that I can remember. But it should be an interesting race. Taking care of the tires is going to be key. Not locking up the brakes will be another key. Keeping the nose clean, obviously, as that goes for any track. But we're looking forward to it. That'll be a cool, interesting race. I can't say that I can remember ever taking the trucks there.
Well, I know how good you can be at short tracks, so that's going to be one to keep an eye on for sure. If you're in the field at a short track, oh my goodness, you might, be a threat to be up there battling for the win, I know. So, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else, Brandon, you'd like to add maybe about tonight's race?
Yep, I just want to thank the broadcast booth for putting on an awesome stream for the fans. Thank all the fans who came out to watch the stream. Thank all the drivers and competitors. Especially want to give a shout-out to the gentleman that worked with me there, Jacob, Josh, as well as Mr. Campbell. We all worked really good together. Managed to get a pretty good result, at least 3 of us there for sure. So I think it was a good team effort, and we look forward to getting hopefully another podium next week at Myrtle Beach.
Yes, sir. Awesome job. I'll get you back up there, and congratulations on the P2. Go ahead and celebrate that one.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
You too, Brandon.
Last but not least, Carter.
What about that A1 racing right there, boy? Woo!
Wow.
Oh, fantastic finish there, at the end of the race. Just tell us, we kind of talked to you there in the closing laps, but tell us about, that final restart and the moves that kind of helped you get that win there, Carter.
Well, the final restart kind of sucked. Like, as y'all could see, I was on Cameron, and I was pushing him, and he was pushing Chris, and then Chris went down, and then so I was pushing him, and when I seen him go down, I told Josh and Brandon, I said, stick with me, let's get it. And so we rode that high side, and then finally they were right behind us, and then we moved down, and I heard Brandon go, out of turn 4. It's whoever's race. And I said, alright. So we came out of turn 4. I seen Josh starting to go down. And I saw him try to put him back up. And man, if Brandon wouldn't have came down, he probably would have went back down and got me. But Brandon went down and picked him, so I went down because Brandon had the more momentum. And I finished. I finished him first, and I was like, damn, that's awesome. It's honestly a thrill getting back into this victory lane for, man, it seems like forever, but last race was what, October, November? Somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Man, it feels good to actually get back in the truck and get a win, so. Whew, first race, that's good momentum. Let's keep it up.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts going into next week at being Myrtle Beach, and kind of a very technical short track, you know?
Yeah, just it's short track racing, so we're gonna have to keep our composure and keep where we need to be at, and make sure we're not gonna get rammed instead of being rammed. So, just trying to stay away from boneheads, and then keep it clean in our end. So.
Yeah.
What other type of thoughts, perhaps, of the racing did you have? Like, when everybody was actually, for the most part, racing. Like, yeah. Just it was just okay. It wasn't.
Yeah, like everybody did great. Like, don't get me wrong, but there was just a lot of stuff that we could have avoided in the situations that we was put in, and like I told Chris and Brandon and Josh, it doesn't matter. This race is just, this is the first race. We still got like 15 more races to go, so they have time to adjust and time to get patient. And then, the people that are more patient are probably the people that are going to win more. And I have a feeling about that. And then you got fast guys like David Berry. He kind of stayed in the back. You got Josh, me, Brandon, and all them staying in the back because we want to see how everybody else is going to adjust to everybody. And like I told them, we have new people. And it was, they was going to wreck eventually. And I didn't know the first wreck was going to be the whole field. So, there's nothing you can do about that, but they're just gonna have to adjust and calm down a little bit. That's all it takes.
No. Any final thoughts or shout outs or anything, Jacob, before we let you go celebrate? Anything else you'd like to add about tonight's race?
I don't think I could add anything else to the night's race, but thank y'all for.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, I said what I had to say, and that's it. I'm just one and done, so. I ain't gonna repeat myself.
No, you're good.
But thank y'all for coming out here and showing me the love and attention and showing everybody. Shout out to my teammates. Man, I love those guys, racing me clean. They didn't have to do that. They could have dumped me coming out of 4 and win, But I love those guys, and the respect was given. So my respect will, later down the road, my respect will give back to them. So appreciate those guys and appreciate everybody behind me and jumping and cheering while I'm coming to the finish. And we'll just come back next week and try to repeat ourselves.
Yes, sir, indeed. It's always an honor to have you here. And just keep striving, keep pushing for everything that you want to do. And wow, dude, it's a great way to open a season. You got 2 more season openers, so hopefully, which is your next 2 cup races. So, hopefully,
I'm a changed man. That's definitely an awesome way to start out the season, especially with all the shitty things that have been going going on here recently. It's definitely awesome to come out here and start new, refresh myself, and get back in the groove. And I'm glad everybody who's had my back is behind me, and whoever doesn't have my back, piss off. Love y'all. That's all I gotta say. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir. We'll get you back out there, buddy. Awesome job on the win. Go celebrate that one. And we'll chat in a few.
I appreciate it.
Anyway, Will, what a wild season opener on the truck side of things. A lot of great racing. Yeah, a lot of great racing. A lot of ups and downs for some. A lot of crazy. It's just a wild, crazy start. And this is what we're going to look forward to for the remainder 19 races that we have left. I do believe it is 19. Is it 20, 20, 20? Yeah. It'll be 19 races, but we have left. So hopefully these boys can keep this momentum up. So we have a lot to talk about going into races here forward. A lot of new guys. I thought they did pretty swell. Not going to lie. A lot of new faces to us. So hopefully they'll be able to get comfortable with our original guys and know how to get up there and rough them up a bit. What was your overall thoughts about tonight's race here in the season opener of the BNR Truck Series? Well,
overall and final thoughts of tonight's race, overall pretty fantastic season opener, I would have to say. For overall circumstances and everything. 80 lap truck race to start the BNR season off, and it was a pretty banger. I'd have to say. Only 5 cautions. I know some would probably be like, "Oh, you had 5 cautions." Well, um, you know, some would probably have 10, maybe 15. So I do agree. Some things could have been avoided, but others just came down to a bit hard racing, maybe a bit too aggressive at certain stages, but maybe lessons learned moving forward. Other than that, can't wait to see what Myrtle Beach holds in store for us next week and the remainder of the season going forward, and also like I kind of been alluding to. The rest of the BNR Speed Week moving forward to kick off the season, with the rest of the races still to go, and also to end off the 87, the BNR 87 series, winter series, this week as well at Michigan, kind of a speedway as well, super speedway. So kind of ending everything, or starting and also kind of ending just with speed, and love to see it. So for myself and Brian Huntley, would like to thank each and every one of you for coming out, tuning in, supporting us and your fellow favorite driver here in the BNR League. So until, what is it, Thursday, I do believe we will be back Thursday, right, for the 87s.
unless
And then
nothing changes, hopefully.
yeah, so unless but for sure Saturday, so with myself and Chris Camary in the booth, so possibly like what Brian just said, might have to still see what things are in store for Friday as well, for me and Brian being back in the booth. But until then, we want everybody to stay safe